Hey, Sid, I'm taking a case of empties. I'll bring back a case of ginger.
Well, come on, Tyler. I've been waiting all morning for you to tell me how you possibly managed to get through a day of duty while I was away.
It was easy.
You missed me. Admit it.
No. All right, I missed you, but only because I had to pay for my own breakfast.
Oh, well, I got news for you, pal. You still have to.
All righty. Here we are. Breakfast for two of Monticello's finest.
Thank you, my dear.
Calvin, I am very glad you're back.
Now, you see what I mean? Now, that is what I call a welcome home. You know what I mean? It's the kind of thing that makes you want to go away more often.
I wish you would.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't.
Why?
Oh, Calvin, Didi was so worried you were going to stay in New York. I mean, for good.
She was worried that you wouldn't come back. I was worried that you would.
Didi! He doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean it.
Listen, Tyler told me about the bad luck you guys had with the acting group. I'm really sorry to hear about it.
Yeah, so am I. But, it's true. I mean, Raven went right in there and threw the entire acting company right out of the theater. I mean, I wasn't there, but, Cliff said she put on quite a show.
That woman. I mean, she really loves to start trouble. I have recently had my own first-hand experience at her starting trouble.
Well, Cliff has a very big headache because of her right now. Raven had Cliff fired from his one big legal account.
She what?
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to know she doesn't play favorites, at least. I mean, but the thing that gets to me is the way she does what she does. For example, this theater business. First, she gives you the theater, gets everybody excited about the future, and then boots you out.
I know, I was getting so good, too. I mean, Jim says I've been making a lot of progress.
I'll bet. How's those, fainting exercises?
Oh, terrific. Terrific. I mean, last night, I did the best faint of my entire career.
Oh, congratulations. Really, getting the hang of it, huh?
Yeah, but the only problem is that it was real.
Oh, really? Are you sick?
No. I mean, nothing like that. It was just my imagination working overtime.
What do you mean?
Well, I was at the studio, and I was looking out the window, and I saw this man underneath a street lamp, and And I swear it was Schuyler Whitney.
Operator, I want to place a long-distance call to Switzerland. Yes, I'll wait.
Nice way to start the morning. Come on in. Can I take your coat?
No, I can only stay a minute.
Well, would you like some coffee?
No thanks.
Have you had breakfast?
Yeah. I just came by to leave these enlargements with you.
You look great. Say, why did you, ask me when I took these? Why was that so important?
Oh, something really odd. I mean, look at that face. Isn't that familiar to you?
Yeah, it's familiar, but I don't know who it is.
Well, you never met Sky Whitney, did you?
No. No, of course, I've seen him in the newspapers and on the TV news.
Well, it wouldn't have been so surprising if the picture had been taken a couple of months ago, but the fact that you took it 2 weeks ago, when Sky Whitney was dead and buried.
Yeah, but these pictures are way out of focus. I mean, I was focusing on the building, not on the people in the front.
Yeah. I guess it's just a distortion. I've got a lot of work to do, so I better get going.
Val, just a minute. I want to thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
No.
I hope you can still use them.
Not about the pictures. I want to thank you about what we talked about the other night. I decided to stay in Monticello.
I'm glad, Jim. I hope you find a way to get the maskers off the ground. You know, this place really looks great.
Oh, it's sweet of you. I hope you can forgive me. And maybe even like me again.
I don't know if I'm ready to talk about it yet, Jim.
Hi. Oh, excuse me, you mind interrupting something?
No, not at all. I was just leaving.
Oh, well, don't leave on my account.
No, I'm late.
Did I come in at the wrong time?
Yeah, you could say that, but
You don't have to be polite.
then you did.
Sorry. I came to get my hat. I left it here last night. I feel lost without it. Hey, you take this?
Yeah.
It's a little dark. You should use a different f-stop. Best theater in town, and we lose it. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
Where are these?
That's the 52nd Street Precinct House. It's just an old police building. It's abandoned on the inside. Sid brought it by. She thought maybe we could renovate the place and make it into a theater.
Do you know how much it would have cost?
Fortune. Too bad it's just not practical. It's not going to happen.
Well, what's it look like inside?
It's just an old abandoned precinct house. You know what that looks like.
No, I don't. I got nothing else to do. I'm gonna go check it out.
Want some more coffee, Jody?
No, thank you.
Gavin?
No, thank you.
Any interesting prospects?
Not so far.
Well, something will turn up very soon, I'm sure of it.
I really hope so. Most anything would be welcome right about now.
Well, personally, I am glad that you didn't get the jobs you've been trying for.
Why?
Because I don't think you should be driving a cab or doing manual labor.
And what else am I qualified for? I was a political science major my 2 years in college. Then I gave it up to try my dancing career in New York. I don't think any of that's going to get me very far.
Well, I don't think driving a cab is the right thing.
Staying here in this penthouse and sponging off you and your family isn't the right thing either.
Gavin, you're not sponging off of us. You're here by our invitation, and you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
You've all been wonderful, Nicole, and I really appreciate it, but I've just got to get a job so I can find my own place, no matter how crummy it is. I just got to get out of here.
Oh. Well, I had no idea you were so uncomfortable here or so anxious to leave.
All I meant was that I don't want to impose on you any longer, that's all.
Well, it didn't come out that way. It sounded very rude to me.
Jody, Gavin didn't mean that the way it sounded.
Honey, I'm sorry. Really, I didn't mean to upset you like this.
I'm sorry. It has nothing to do with you.
Oh, I think what she means is, well, her emotions have just been so close to the surface ever since Dr. Hilmer came here and told her that her mother was dying. That's very hard to take.
Honey, I'm sorry. I know you must be miserable.
It's strange. I mean, one call and it brings back so many memories of the past that I thought were buried. And the truth is, I feel guilty about not helping my mother now.
Even though your mother didn't do anything to help you?
Yes. It has nothing to do with my mother's love or lack of it for me. It has to do with the way I feel.
Well, is there anything I can do to help? I mean, besides apologizing for my clumsiness?
Gavin, I think that whatever has to be done now has to come from Jody.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, I think the answer is, no matter how unpleasant it may be, for you to go to Springfield and see for yourself what's happening. Now, I've talked with Miles, and he thinks so, too.
Well, I hate the thought of it, but I think you're right. I think I have to go there before it's just too late.
Calvin, now that we've finished breakfast, I think I better tell you something.
No? Why'd you wait till we finished breakfast?
I didn't want to destroy your appetite.
So it's like that, huh? Okay, I have braced myself. Shoot.
Eddie Lorimer is free.
What? Eddie Lorimer's free?
I just said that.
Yeah, but how? I mean, you had to go underground to get that cheap punk. You got a knife in your ribs for your trouble, and we have a taped confession from his own mouth.
Tapes have been ruled inadmissible. I think you're wrong to call him a cheap punk. He happens to be a very successful punk, and he has some very distinguished friends.
Ah, I see. Friends in high places.
Exactly.
And those friends in high places got him off.
That's right. Somehow Eddie has managed to slip through the cracks in the legal system.
You know, stories like this sometimes make you wonder why you try so hard. Hey, so what does this do to you? I mean, you think he's gonna come after you?
Oh, I really doubt it. I think he's smart enough to just pretend the whole thing never happened. Anyway, I don't intend to lose any sleep over it.
Yeah, well, you almost lost a lot more than sleep the last time.
Say, you left my house in an awful hurry last night. Did you happen to go see somebody that we both know?
You know, I went to see Didi. Man, she made me so glad I came back home.
Gentlemen, awfully formal this morning.
I am perfecting my waitressing. Might as well since my acting career is on hold.
Just temporarily, Mitz.
Any news on another theater?
Nope. I think you're crazy not to look into that precinct. Forget it. It's really fabulous. See, there's this old police precinct we could use.
Yeah.
We would call ourselves the Police Players. And then we would only do crime dramas. It'd be a super idea. Super fantasy. I'll show you how fantasies become reality. Excuse me.
All right.
Calvin?
Oh, hi, Cliff.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Calvin, how could I get into a police station?
Rob a bank.
I'm serious now. It's the old 52nd precinct.
Oh, you mean that old place downtown? Did I ever tell you that I spent the first 6 months on the force in that old dump? They should have torn it down years ago. I really don't want to see the inside of that place.
Well, I want to see the inside of it. What's for research? It's for sale, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose I could get you a key if it's important.
How long would it take?
Not longer than a short phone call.
Well, can you make that phone call shortly? I'll pay for it.
Now that is a switch. Okay, baby. Let's
go.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming with you guys. You wait for me. Wait. Look, Damian, this guy wants roast beef.
What?
This woman is a vegetarian. Be careful.
Mrs. Saxon? Thank you, Spencer. And what is the weather offering us out there today?
It's overcast and very cold.
I'd feel better if I could see a crocus.
I'm sure I would, too.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nora.
I'm on my way to do some shopping. I should be back by noon.
Oh, then I wonder if I might trouble you to stop by my attorney's office and pick up some papers. He's on Evergreen Drive.
I'm sorry, but it's out of my way.
I see. Nora, I realize that you are Mrs. Whitney's secretary and not mine. But since I also am a member of this household, I would think you could be a bit more accommodating. I'm sure that if Mrs. Whitney were here, she would agree.
Well, you should ask her when she returns, Mrs. Saxon. Excuse me.
Nora, one moment. That jacket you're wearing, I believe that's Mrs. Whitney's, isn't it?
Yes. Mrs. Whitney told me I could wear it while she's gone.
Then that's something else I'll have to ask her when she returns.
You are a fool to make so many enemies in this house, Nora. Would you care for something else, Mrs. Saxon?
No, Spencer, thank you.
Hello?
Nicole, it's Geraldine.
Oh, good morning, Geraldine. How are you?
I'm just fine, dear, just fine. You on your way to the studio?
Yes, in about 5 minutes. Is there something I can do for you?
I just wondered if you had time. You might stop by my office sometime today. I'd like to talk to you about your former secretary.
What a spooky place. And will you look at all this stuff? I don't think anybody's been here in years.
Except a few million ghosts.
No, it's too small.
Hey, look at you guys. It's an old courtroom. A lot of human drama was happening in here. I'm gonna go and explore.
Don't get lost. Dust.
State your name and your occupation.
Clifford Nelson, attorney at law.
Employed?
No,
Why not?
ask Raven Whitney.
I see here you have been charged with assault and battery. Against whom?
Raven Whitney.
Hey, don't you know it's not nice to hit a woman?
That's what all the women say. It's not nice to hit a lady. Raven Whitney's no lady. She wasn't a lady when she ruined Calvin Stoner's marriage. She wasn't a lady when she ruined Mitzi Martin's dreams of being an actress. She wasn't a lady when she ruined Clifford Nelson's law career. She's no lady. You just don't know Raven Whitney.
So are you guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
I say you're guilty.
It's for a jury to decide. A jury of my peers. That's 12 men.
You can tell it to the judge, Buster.
Hey, I'm not guilty.
Hey, you guys, it's incredible downstairs. You ought to see it. They've got cell blocks and they've got storerooms. It's just amazing. But as for making it a theater, it's impossible. You should see the walls are so thick. We'd have to build a proscenium. We'd have to put in seats. We'd have to build a stage.
How much?
Oh, at least $200,000.
Oh.
That much, huh?
Yeah. I got some pictures for Hector. I'm sure he'll say the same thing.
I wish we had a picture of Raven Whitney. Belongs up here. Put her down in one of those jail cells and throw away the key for what she did to us.
Hello? Yes. Thank you. Allgemeines Krankenhaus? Frau Ziegler, bitte? Ja, Helga Ziegler. Danke. Helga? Grüß Gott. Hier ist Libby Webster. Der kranke Mann. Wie geht es ihm? He what? Oh, nein. Oh, my God.
I want you to meet. Oh. But I know Miss Fulton.
Oh, that's right. You probably met her at the studio with Nicole.
Although the last time we had a visit was right here, wasn't it?
Oh, really?
Yes, I was here visiting Spencer, Mr. Varney.
I recall that visit very well. You had some unusual things to say about the Kavanaugh domestic situation.
Oh, really? What?
Really. It wouldn't be discreet to ask Miss Fulton to discuss her employers.
Former employers. She now works for me.
Why?
She's my new private secretary. Isn't that great?
When did that happen?
I decided the other job just wasn't for me, Mrs. Saxon. Not because of the friction in the household, but because I had to spend so much time at the studio.
Yes, I spend considerable time there myself.
Oh, I didn't mind that, of course. It's just that I prefer working in a private home.
And now you'll be working in this home.
That's right. I decided that a woman in my position needs a private secretary.
May I drive you to work, Mrs. Saxon?
No, thank you, Spencer. I'll take my own car this morning. However, you might answer one or two questions for me, if you will.
I'll certainly try, of course.
Tell me, how much do you know about Nora Fulton?
Actually, very little, I'm afraid.
You had worked with her before, I believe you said.
Yes.
And how long ago was that?
2 or 3 years. But even though we were employed by the same household, I never really knew her that well.
Still, you recommended her for this job.
As I remembered, Mrs. Saxon, I believed her work to be satisfactory to our previous employer.
I must say she seemed rather insolent this morning. Well, perhaps that's too harsh a word. I was just wondering if there was something wrong.
Well, I shouldn't say anything.
Oh, come now, Spencer. If you have an opinion, feel free to express it.
Perhaps it's just that she's responding to her new station in life. You see, she was never more than a maidservant before she became a
private secretary to Mrs. Kavanaugh and now to Mrs. Whitney. I'm afraid she has a higher opinion of herself and her importance.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's only my opinion. There may be something else that would explain her discourtesy this morning.
Well, Spencer, I'm always delighted when someone advances in this world. But when they do, I see no reason to leave common courtesy behind. And now, after that lofty bit of philosophy, I'm going to the station.
Yes, ma'am. Whitney residence.
It's Libby. Spencer, I've got some very bad news. He's left the hospital. He simply walked out one day, and nobody knows where he's gone.